she loves me. Isn't it lovely when the one you're lusting is the one you're loving?
I wanted today to talk about Trump. Yeah, I know. I know. Don't turn the dial. I know some of you want to. I've been thinking about it in this way that I walk a tightrope on these airwaves because personally, I have very strong feelings about, our vote and that we must use it. I'm also pretty much nonpartisan, meaning personally, my views and how I live my life may be relatively conservative. I can't abide by the racism that currently sits in the Republican Party, so I don't get caught up in party politics at all. I don't believe there's a left and a right. I think there's a right and a wrong. Period. Full stop. That said, we have a binary choice in 2024, and I'm not going to play games with y'all with these third party candidates. I was having these discussions with the team about who we should have on. I'm not entertaining anybody that's going to undermine what the hell's going to happen next. We're in the precipice of a damn world war. The person that has these nuclear codes coming up, after reading this Oppenheimer book, is important to me. I'm sorry. The climate is important to me because it's important to all of us. We all want to breathe and have air and be alive. Like those are basic things. I think I don't care what your background, religion, your walk is. That's something I think we should all agree on, right? So I'm looking at these candidates like, who is here to make sure that we still have air to breathe, water to drink, and that we're still living. Okay, let's go. And the pickings are slim. Unfortunately, there's 11 candidates running that want to be the Republican nominee, and it's all politics to me, and it's all position and power. And I don't see too many human beings running. So we're gonna have like serious conversations. And that said, Trump could win again from jail. Period. So I've been thinking about like how we talk about this because Cornell West, for a lot of you, he's intriguing. I know too much to be but so intrigued. So I'm not intrigued at all. I don't disrespect him as a scholar, as a man. I think he's really, well read, and I think he loves people. I think he doesn't want to see the world fail. That said, I don't think he would make a great president. So I'm gonna say that publicly. 866-801-8255. So then that begs the question, what is a great president? What does it mean for this country to have a great president? And this is something, as I study and look towards the past and then see what we need in the future, what are we looking at? Well, we're looking at BRICS, which is Brazil, China, India. We're looking at now Saudi Arabia and Iran and companies and countries coming together and forming an alliance. And why is this something to pay attention to? Well, I remember Muammar Gaddafi said he wanted to galvanize and unify Africa. And shortly thereafter, he was found sodomized and brutalized and then killed, and he's no more. And I think about that can't happen today, cannot happen today. Why? Because the countries that have formed like Voltron have so much power, and they're collectively and individually, one could argue even with China, India, Brazil, that they might be more powerful than the United States and the EU. And, there's something going on right now. There's a real serious tug of war. We're not paying attention because we're so more concerned about transgendered book reading in bathrooms and abortion, which we should lean into all of that. I'm sure that's the thing that's going to undo us. But we're very concerned about that when there's a global gathering happening and Africa's at the center of it once again. And I'm sitting here like, y'all, really? Y'all worried about foundational Black people versus what? What are we, reparations, or I'm not voting? Really? What? Come on now. Seriously? You might not be here. Worried about that. For what? And then there's a part of me that says, we've survived worse. My parents grew up in an era where they had to hide under desks, worried about, nuclear bombs. But I think this generation might actually see one. Oh, damn. I shouldn't have said it out loud. But yeah, I do. I feel like we're there where folk don't even really care about each other enough to be concerned. And hell, this country did actually drop nuclear bombs, 2 of them on a whole country. So I'm going to have a conversation today. 866-801-8255. And I'm putting out the number, and it's going to be a drumbeat that will be constant for the next year as we head into another election, because I need us to reframe how we think, and we need to be more strategic, and we need to be less emotional, and we need to think about what it will look like 100 years from now, the decisions we make today. And that means your individual lives too. The decisions you make today will have an impact. You may not be here to see the impact, but those of you who are birthing children or having children, the decisions you made 10 years ago with them babies, you're seeing the fallout. You can't blame nobody but yourself. I'm just saying, y'all know what I'm talking about, even if you don't admit it to yourself. It is a truth. So I'm going to start with this Donna Brazile. She was on ABC this weekend, and she said something that made me sit up because I know it's true. And I'm glad she said it, because if we don't say it, and saying it doesn't make it so. Saying it means, we have to acknowledge it. I feel like too many of us run away from the truth because it's hard to swallow in our personal lives as well. But the truth never leaves. It's still there whether you're willing to deal with it or not. It's going to always be there, sitting there like, you ready? You ready to deal with me? It's going to be there. So I'm just going to put us in the crosshairs. And yes, escape has been our modus operandi. Escape, through many different means. I'm not going to get into alcohol, drugs, sex, whatever, bad television, just going to the movies, entertaining, laughing, doing all of the things. Oh, that's fun. But the reality is always going to be here. So I'm going to lean just a little bit into the reality. Let's play clip number 5 from Donna Brazile.
I've seen two movements outside of the social justice movements in my life on the political side. One was the Reagan movement. Reagan had a hold on his base, the country at large. They saw him as someone who was willing to stand up for American values, whatever that might have meant. Now, I thought it was reactionary. The other movement I saw was Barack Obama, hope and change. That galvanized the American people. I've never seen anything like this with Donald Trump. I mean, what doesn't kill you make you stronger? I mean, being indicted, that's making him stronger. Raising $10 million using an ugly mugshot to raise money. This is a movement. And anyone who thinks that you can apply the old political rules to trying to defeat this candidate based on he's scary, he's ugly, whatever you might want to call him, this is a movement. And we have to respect the fact that it's a movement.
Yep. I was driving to get some food the other day, and I saw the biggest American flag and Trump in a place I didn't expect it. Didn't expect it. I was like, what is happening here? We got neo-Nazis out in them streets in Florida and at Martha's Vineyard. There's some and I'm saying this like this because Trump represents all of this. So for those of you who's like, yes, he does. He represents all of it, right? So there's these white nationalists. They're posting signs outside of Black-owned businesses on Martha's Vineyard. That's where a lot of Black folk go during the summer. Oak Bluffs. They are targeting, and they're putting this Patriot Front movement, and there's many of them, and he's their leader. And before it was very silent. You could work with people and it would be affable enough. They wouldn't be this ugly in public, but the uglier, the better. This is something that we're not going to fight in a normal way. And it's not about getting armed up. We were talking yesterday, what's the solution? Some of you are get guns. We got to get guns. I'm going to stand firmly in that. Yes, please go get your guns and learn how to shoot. Do that for self-defense, but you ain't gonna be out there out militialy. Let me see, how would I say that, Smiz? Now I gotta get my words of the day together. You're not gonna outgun people who have been for the last 3 decades, maybe longer, maybe since the inception, maybe since the loss of the Civil War, preparing for the next war, because what they know is that they lost the battle. They didn't lose the war. See, that's what we are not recognizing. The Civil War never ended. That was a lost battle. The fact that we are today, and it's not illegal to fly a Confederate flag, while in Nazi Germany it's illegal to fly a Nazi flag, because they understand that they lost that war. And we're going to put an end to it, and we're going to codify it in law. We never did that. We didn't make it illegal to be racist in this country. We never banned it, which means it is ever present. It can always rage, and it is now. And Trump's their leader. And whether or not he believes in it or not is irrelevant. He recognizes the power of it. So make America great again stands for something. Who else said that? Reagan said that. Did Reagan say that? Did Bush say that? Yes. This has never left. So what are we doing? Jonna Brazil saying that as former head of the DNC, person that has been in many political rooms, she didn't have an answer for Trump. Because you would think the indictments would mean, and I've said on these airways, I don't think he's going to even be a factor. But I don't know. If he's alive, he's going to be a factor. So let me amend that. He's going to be a factor. From jail, he's going to be a factor. DeSantis is losing more ground than ever. Trump is not losing any ground and raising more money. So I want to put him over there because I don't know what we can do about that, especially given the Democratic Party, the leadership there seems to be feckless and not really understanding how to mount a strategy that is not incorporative of a Trump thing. And if I were running it, if anybody asked me, I would say focus on the things you've been doing. Because there's a lot of things that you've been doing that have been very good, and stop allowing people to tell anybody that they're the same bird, two wings of the same bird, or the Democrats and the Republicans are the same, or Biden's just like Trump. And I'm not saying Biden is, wonderful and a great man, but what I do know is I don't think he wants you to die. I don't think he wants to see you not here anymore or subservient to everybody who's not Black. I don't think he wants to see you back of the bus or drinking from a colors only water fountain. I don't think he wants that. So they can't possibly be the same. They cannot. So I want to play another clip, 866-801-8255, but I'm willing to listen because it's always interesting. Like this week when I said, if you're not voting, call up, and we had a few people call up. Again, please make sense. Just because something feels good to you doesn't make it right. And I feel like, no, I know we need to get out of our feelings. We need to grow the hell up, be adults, be the grandparents that this world deserves. Even if you're 20, grow up and let's go, because we need sentient people who have thought through the things that they are talking out of their mouths and that they're doing in their community. We need that. So, but I'm open to a different perspective. So if you have a different perspective than the one I'm raising today, which is that we cannot ignore Trump at our peril, is something that I rang in 2015 when I said he could win, and everybody was like, stop saying that. 866-801-8255. I'm not a prognosticator. I'm not Negrodamus. I've been watching some things. And for a while, I got a little bit of wisdom. I've sat on editorial boards. I kind of got some insight into some seats of power. I've seen how people move. And I know that there's something going on in this country that it will break us. This country will absolutely break under the weight of it. And we can rebuild and build back better. But we're heading to something that's really bad. And maybe Trump needs to win. Maybe that'll be just the thing. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be good or bad. I don't know. I don't have an answer for it.
Yeah. I run my fingers through her hair as she smiles and says that she loves me. Isn't it lovely when the one you're lusting is the one?